Alright, look. I know what Cody said at the start of the show. These wrestlers have only been training for about 3 months, and this was an opportunity for them to have their first match and gain a lot of exposure. The show was still garbage, though, but at least we all know why and how. And I don't expect shows like these to deviate from being trash. At best, I'm expecting it to be below average with some flashes of brilliance here and there. I'm really not that hard to please as a wrestling fan. I tune into independent wrestling promotions frequently, but that's not to say that I expect them all to be good, because they're often not very good at all. Prior to watching this particular showcase type of event, I did watch the one that came from Dustin Rhodes' promotion. Well, I guess you can call it a promotion. RWA. That show was abysmal. There were very few bright spots to come out of it, if any at all, and really only one wrestler that drew any interest from me in Shauna Reed, a women's division wrestler playing the awfully generic crazy girl character, but at least she was able to pull it off. The first Nightmare Family showcase had its fair share of generic garbage as well, but they didn't quite pull it off as well as Shauna Reed was able to pull off the generic crazy girl gimmick, for example. Particularly at the end of the show, every competitor spilled out from the back one by one in a big brawl that was meant to serve as some type of character flex for not only the wrestlers themselves, but for the entire class and for the brand, which only served to be absolutely useless when not one character was truly memorable or entertaining to watch in the first place. Yes, this was the first show for all of them, but that doesn't excuse bad television, period. The only good highlight that I can draw from the show was the main event between Dean Alexander and Carly Bravo, a match serviceable enough to be an okay indie match if you didn't know any better, but it was a main event that came after a show that started off slow, laid two eggs with a mediocre battle royal, a completely missable women's tag team match, and a straight up garbage tag team match between a generic babyface team and a generic heel team. I'm not meaning to be harsh, nor am I meaning to be this, nor am I meaning to be kind to this show. It was an hour of pro wrestling that you're better off not watching until maybe a decade to see if any of these wrestlers had even made it anywhere in pro wrestling. But even then, is anyone really willing to watch the original first season of NXT, a show with already established pro wrestlers well into their years into the business, just to see where they were after so much time has passed? I mean, maybe in a 2-minute clip in a Twitter thread posting highlights of Daniel Bryan wrestling Chris Jericho or something, but not because you're just dying to see Darren Young wrestle David Otunga in a 5-minute match that's practically guaranteed to bore the shit out of you. There was also Baby, a women's division wrestler decked out in pink that was maybe somewhat interesting, but I'm just grasping at straws at this point. Again, I wasn't expecting wrestlers that just started their journey less than a year ago to suddenly deliver classics. I had almost no expectations for this show at all, but it is a showcase event at the end of the day, and you kind of have to go in knowing that it won't be good. And this showcase was no exception to that.